All right, when we come back, we'll visit the oldest active ballpark in baseball. It was a facility that was a unanimous pick by all 7 of my ballpark experts. We'll show you why a trip to Fenway Park, home of the Boston Red Sox, is a trip worth taking. And just to give you an idea of how old that ballpark is, its opening day was overshadowed by another historic event. Was it A, the sinking of the Titanic, B, the Hindenburg tragedy, C, the stock market crash, or D, the cancellation of the Munsters? You know the answer? We'll find out if you're right after this break.
Day on the Travel Channel.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you, Mr. Ripken.
Yeah. Call me Cal. Why ruin his dream, you know? Don't try to sell that on eBay. Welcome back to our tour of 5 of the top ballparks in the American League. Now, the last stop, and one of my favorites, is the oldest active park in all of Major League Baseball. And to the delight of most baseball fans, Fenway's like a living history museum. With the exception of some remodeling in 1934, the park pretty much remains the way it did when it opened. But one thing that also remains is the fact that the ball club hasn't won a World Series since 1918. But some say there's a perfectly good reason for that. It's called the Curse of the Bambino. It seems that the World Series of 1918 marked the Red Sox 5th World Championship. Now, one of the stalwarts of that team was a young pitcher named George Herman Ruth, also known as Babe or the Bambino. But as the story goes, the Red Sox owner at the time needed money, so he sold the Bambino's contract to the New York Yankees. Since that sale, Boston has only made it to the World Series 4 times and managed to lose each championship in Game 7. But whether or not there's a curse, fans have plenty of reasons to come to Fenway.
Well, good morning and welcome to Fenway Park. Thanks for coming to the ballpark early on a Saturday morning when the team's out of town. We've had over 30,000 fans for tours since March 31st. That's more than some teams get for a 3-game series when they're playing at home, so we're definitely lucky to have you. Yeah, a lot of Red Sox fans and people who are just baseball fans feel it would be wrong for them to come to Boston and not see Fenway Park, not get up close. I mean, it's kind of like the Louvre of baseball. You know what that is to art, this is to baseball.
I mean, the thing about Fenway that really was remarkable to me the first time I went there is you walk up to it and you don't even know it's a ballpark. I mean, it looks just like a building, a brick building.
It's like being in a living history museum. You go to Fenway and you realize that Ted Williams has been here, Babe Ruth pitched here. You know you're at a place that baseball gods have blessed.
You can essentially walk around this entire park in 15 minutes, whereas some parks it would take you, 45 minutes to do a circle of the park. This place is so small, no matter where you sit, you're really just involved with the game.
And of course, you can't talk about Fenway without talking about the Green Monster.
When you think of Fenway Park, you think of the Green Monster. When you think of Boston, you think of the Green Monster. When you think of Major League Baseball, you think of the Green Monster.
I mean, come on, the Green Monster is just a 37-foot wall in left field, right? Wrong. Some say it changes a team's approach to pitching, hitting, base running. Have I left anything out?
Never has there been a feature at a ballpark that has so significantly impacted the way the game is played in that park as the Green Monster.
That's the part that I actually find the most entertaining because there aren't too many outfielders that have learned to play the wall at the Green Monster because wherever it's hit on that Green Monster, it might take a different angle off of it. And as a Red Sox fan, I love to see their misery, so instead of a double, it's a triple.
Fenway Park is unique because, unlike the way parks are configured today, it exists in the irregular shape that the city block imposed. The choice was between the Green Monster wall to keep most balls in play or wiping out Lansdowne Street to increase left field. Well, the wall stayed. But it did go through a change with the 2003 season. Seats were added.
Probably heresy to a lot of fans of Fenway Park, but actually, aesthetically, it works. It's not a bad approach to adding seats at all.
We put the seats up there. We changed Fenway Park a little bit. We made it better. But Fenway Park is something very near and dear to New Englanders and Red Sox fans all over the country. And when you change something they love, they want to see it. They want to experience that change.
But not all changes are accepted by the loyal Red Sox fans.
It's about tradition, and the Boston fans are cranky enough, and I guess attentive enough too, so that a lot of them were calling in saying that the numbers looked terrible, or that they didn't like the difference between the new ones and the old ones.
When some fans decided that the new numbers on their legendary hand-operated scoreboard were too precise and modern-looking, it was time for a change.
Well, there are 778 plates total, and some of them are in fairly good shape. We'll just need to kind of touch them up by hand. Others, like these, need a complete makeover. There's no known typeface or font. We couldn't find one anyway. We wanted to create a hand-done feel, and there really wasn't enough time to do them all by hand. So we created the stencils, but we hand-cut them. So they all look slightly different. This is a good example. There's three 12s, and these twos all look, well, to my eye anyway, they all look completely different. They're not at all uniform. So I think what's happened with these mostly is that they've just been maintained by the guys out there behind the scoreboard. As the tradition goes, if there was a number they didn't have out there, they would just paint it by hand. This is a good example of one of the numbers we're trying to correct. This was probably painted about 25 years ago. One of the things that's great about Fenway Park is its feel has been preserved over all this time, since, what, 1912? And so we're just trying to play a small part in, I guess, keeping that intact.
The hand-operated scoreboard is a must. That's the way it was in 1934. That's the way we want it to be for us in 2003. You know, it's not the most luxurious spot in the ballpark, but it's definitely one of the more unique and viable, and people always recognize, you know, when they see the number go up there, it's not just a person pushing a button, it's a man sliding that number into place and sweating his brains out inside the wall on a hot summer day.
Hello, my name is Christian Elias, and welcome to the historic Green Monster scoreboard here at Fenway Park. My friend and I, Rich Maloney, have been working here together for 13 seasons.
That scoreboard is the oldest hand-operated scoreboard in the league.
As you can see, the scoreboard's narrow and long. As we move forward, you can see how high the wall goes up. So it's kind of tough to get those numbers up, and this place certainly wasn't built with comfort in mind. Everyone gets so excited when I tell them what I do, or you know, people find out that I'm one of the scoreboard operators, and the few people that have been able to come back here, you know, get so excited, and then after 2 innings, I think they've had it and they've seen it in things. I think this is our oldest signature right here. Jimmy Pearsall, an outfielder for the Red Sox, signed it in 1956 and 57. And further, a little bit down here, the scorekeepers at the time, you could see the kid, Ted's homers. In 1951, they were kept track of Ted Williams' homers here and away. So there's a lot of history back here. The idea of signing the wall back here has been going on long before I started 13 years ago.
Working inside the scoreboard can get a little nerve-wracking.
As you can see, the board's metal. When the ball hits that board, it's pretty loud. It's something you don't get used to no matter how long you've been back here. Well, I'm not going to give you all the secrets today because we need a little job security back here, but what I'm holding is one of the inning-by-inning number plates, and I'm just going to give you a brief presentation on what we do. Let's say the Red Sox scored 6 runs in the bottom of their inning. Basically, at the end of the inning, we would take the 6, slide it right up there like that. Now, I know it looks difficult at first, but this is years and years of training that we have for this.
And here's something else to check out. The initials of former Red Sox owner Tom A. Yawkey and his wife Jean are featured in Morse code in green dashes and dots on the vertical white bars between the leftmost out-of-town scores. I'm not making this stuff up. Well, I hope you enjoyed our tour of 5 of the American League's great ballparks. If we left out your favorite park, we apologize. But remember, the best thing about baseball is that it's more than just a game. It's a place as well as a state of mind. Remember, most Major League parks are open during the off-season, so whether you're a fan or not, they become a fun place to visit. Check it out the next time you go on vacation, and you'll see what a terrific experience it can be for your entire family. Until next time, I'm Pat Sajak.